Well, that's a good. So I stand on the little tape.
Yeah,
Okay.
direct, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and then you're gonna step just on the duct tape there. Where that
Stand?
tape-
I don't
yeah.
get to sit?
Come up
No,
there,
so we're back. Good.
You're gonna
Wow,
do,
bright lights.
screen
I'm like nervous now.
The huge pivotal moment for me was 1991 for the strike.
It was a tough time, long walk, but things came out of it wonderful.
That was probably the first time nurses in this province stood up to be counted. And it was, I walked that picket line. It was probably the most inspiring time for me as a union member. That brought nurses together.
One of the big things that they negotiated for was nursing advisory committees, and we use them heavily.
It really set a precedent for what our organization stands for and is still inspiring to nurses today to, advocate for the people who advocate for their patients.
Well, I think we've continued to make competitive wages and benefits key as our priorities, but also now, safe staffing and workplace safety for nurses and workplace safety for patients as well.
I think one of the things that I'm very proud of with MNU is all the work that we've done around the violence in the workplace and that it's not okay. We need to fix that and we need to make everybody know. And that's a proud moment for me that as we go forward, that more and more people are starting to believe that.
Another key aspect is that they represent all nurse classifications throughout the province of Manitoba, which is so unique.
Listening to the history, hearing it, understanding it, and seeing all the change and the impact the union has had inspired me. It moved me to be involved.
I think that our history as a strong union in Manitoba goes a long way in helping nurses, and we've overcome a lot of obstacles with the history of MNU, and it's done well for nurses.
We're really doing some great stuff, especially with the safe workplace and the violence and those sorts of things.
Well, right now, the PTSD is the big issue that I see as very, very important. We had a presentation at the board a couple of months ago about PTSD, and I really saw myself there.
Nurses have always sort of given their everything to their clients and not left much for themselves at the end of the day.
I mean, when I went into nursing, we were told you can never cry with a family, you can never cry in front of a patient, and I find that that's not real.
You think this stuff doesn't bother you, and then all of a sudden it just something twigs one day, and it just hits a little too close to home, and you feel it in your heart, and you take it home with you. And I think that's really important. I think it's excellent that we've initiated that we've acknowledged it's a problem for nurses, and that we need to do something about it, and that we need to be aware that it's okay to feel this way.
Unfortunately, abuse and mistreatment of healthcare workers is a big issue, and I think that what we have done as a union and as MNU has made it a lot safer and has opened a lot of doors for nurses to be working in a safe environment where they don't have to fear for their safety.
Well, I think right now is, one of the key words that comes to mind when I think of the Manitoba Nurses Union is progressive. We're a forerunner when it comes to being spokespeople for healthcare.
Right now, we're really trying hard to try and do succession planning. Trying to bring the newer, younger members in because we're not all going to be here forever, and trying to get them involved is what we're really working on right now.
I think the union itself is working for nurses and for the public, and it's more uniting us and making us work collectively.
I don't know too much about the history, but the future I can see us going bigger and being a big help to the nurses out there and getting everything that we need to continue on with patient care and making it safe and even more rewarding for us.
Lots of nurses like to give, we like to do lots of overtime, but just, also having those parameters so people don't have burnout, different things like that.
In the last 40 years, the union has worked hard for us to get us some safety within the work site, job security, fair postings, and if we don't stay active with it, we could lose it all in a drop of a hat.
I think the MNU has not lost its focus when it comes to its grassroots membership. It's membership driven, and it's always service to our membership.
We have a wonderful leadership right now, and I know we will continue to have that leadership.
Well, I think for me personally, I'm passionate about keeping our young people interested in nursing and keeping them in nursing, and helping them to understand the benefits of belonging to a unionized workplace as opposed to maybe working for agency, and seeing that it's important to sort of be together for the greater good and to stand strong as a union.
We just had our annual general meeting, and there were a lot of 20-somethings that are relatively new graduates that are being mentored by the union reps on their wards to be aware of what's going on in nursing as a profession and MNU as a union, and how to achieve change.
For me, mentoring young nurses, new nurses, bringing them into the union, getting them involved, getting them to understand the passion that we have for our work and for our work in the union, and understanding what a great organization we have.
Well, the thing I love most about the MNU basically is we represent all classifications of nurses. I think that gives us a huge voice in bargaining power, policy change, influence with the employer to promote and provide safe working environments for our nurses.
My passion actually, well, it's the province with the nurses and stuff, but my passion is more so my home area as well, which is the private facilities, because I belong to one of those. And I'm hoping that in the future we can get some more of those private facilities out there and get them to be more involved, get them to be more noticeable, I guess.
Manitoba Nurses Union has always stood strong for healthcare for all, for equality for all.
I've loved working with this union. It's great. It's a wonderful organization.
I'm so proud that I'm helping to move this organization forward.
I look forward to our board meetings. They're really energizing and allows me to take a lot back to my local and keep us going.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Everybody needs this union. It's been wonderful, I just think that it's going to get bigger and it's going to get better.
We've got good ideas, we've got good leaders within the union and good leaders within all the job sites.
I think anything that we put our mind to, we can make happen.